Hey, Internet, welcome back. My name is Alan Lenzicki. I'm a lawyer in Lake County, Illinois. I want to give some legal information. People sometimes ask me, what's the difference between a driver's license suspension and a revocation, right? So, a suspension is temporary, right? A revocation can be permanent. A suspension usually happens when you've got unpaid tickets. So if you get supervision in a ticket, you blow off your supervision, you blow off your traffic safety school, or you don't address the ticket. Like you get a ticket from a police officer, you get a court date, and then just say, I'm not going to go. I'm kind of busy that day. If you do that, you'll take convictions, and that will cause your license to be suspended. Okay. So unpaid tickets, too many tickets, also, some offenses are auto suspension tickets. Okay. And I don't mean like auto like an automobile. I mean it like automatically suspends your driver's license. So if you take a conviction for driving with no insurance, it suspends you. DUI. Anytime that you're pulled over for a DUI, you are typically suspended because either you refuse to blow, and that causes a 1 year statutory summary suspension, or you do blow and you blow over zero point zero 0.08, and that causes a 6 month statutory summary suspension. Sometimes, rarely, I actually have two cases right now where the guy blew under. And so the police still arrested him for DUI when he blew 079, but chose not to, they can't have the statutory summary suspension because he's done what the Secretary of State asked him to. When you're 16 years old, you are, you get sign these documents about how your driver's license is a privilege and not a right. You're promising the Secretary of State that if you get pulled over by a police officer and they ask you to blow, you promise that you will blow and it's going to be under 0.08. And so if you've done that, you've blown and it's under 0.08, but let's say the cops found you sleeping in a car or something obviously that they still want to go after you for a DUI, they can, okay? They can still proceed with the prosecution, but your license is not going to be suspended by the statutory summary suspension, okay? So that's a suspension. A revocation is just worse. A revocation, instead of your video game being on pause, it's your video game save file being deleted, kind of. The Secretary of State takes your license and throws it in the recycling bin. It's just done. That's a revocation. You can only get your license back after a revocation when you have a hearing with the hearing officer at the Secretary of State. If you've ever been at the Secretary of State, like for example in Waukegan, there's a little room. It says hearing officer. Well, guess what? You don't want to be there, okay? The hearing officer is in Waukegan for certain types of revocations. If you have a DUI revocation because of a second time DUI, you don't use that hearing officer. You use a super hearing officer. We tend to refer people down to the hearing officer in the hearings in Joliet, but they also occur in Chicago and also in Springfield. Anyway, those are serious. When you have a revocation, you need to hire an attorney and to deal with that reinstatement hearing with the benefit of an attorney. That attorney will prep you and help you understand what questions you're likely to face. So call us if you need a DUI license reinstatement. But those are the differences. Suspension's temporary. You get your license back after you pay a fee and after the duration of the suspension has elapsed. And a revocation, it's permanent unless you do something about it by winning a hearing for a reinstatement. Thanks a lot. I've been Alan Lenzicki.